Okay, go ahead, Tori.
Okay. Per the State of California Executive Order N-2920, this meeting is being held telephonically. All public comment were received by either email or voicemail as noted in the agenda. Commissioners, if you would please mute your microphones till called upon for comment or vote. Now I will let Chairperson White open the meeting.
Okay, Tori, roll call.
Chairperson White.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Christensen.
Present.
Commissioner Hollingsworth.
Present.
Commissioner Nixon.
Here.
Commissioner Hamlin.
Present.
Okay.
All are present.
Okay, please join me for the pledge to the flag. Put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so this meeting is being held under the State of California's Executive Order number N-2920. Are there any public comments?
We did not receive any public comments.
Okay. Tori, I had problems with my printer. What's the next item on your script?
It'll be item 2, and we'll take comments regarding the minutes.
Okay, so the next item is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting. Are there any comments?
Just noting
Charles?
just noting that Commissioner Christensen was absent last week, or last meeting.
Okay, did you get that, Tori?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
Repeat that, Christensen, please.
Yeah, just noting that Commissioner Christensen was absent last meeting. I missed the last meeting. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Commissioner Hollingsworth, do you have any comments?
No, I have no comments.
Commissioner Nixon, do you have any comments?
No.
Commissioner Hamlin?
No comment.
Chairperson White, do you have any comments?
No comments. So is there a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved, Hamlin.
Commissioner Nixon moves to approve as presented.
Commissioner Hollingsworth seconds.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Hollingsworth.
Okay, so we'll now take a roll call vote. All of those in favor of approving the minutes of the December 14th meeting, we'll start with Vice Chairperson Christensen.
Aye.
Commissioner Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Commissioner Nixon.
Aye.
Commissioner Hamlin.
Aye.
And I vote yes. So it was, let the record show it was a unanimous decision for approval of the minutes from December 14th, 2020. Okay, item number 3 is signed application number 2021-01 from Metro Signs for Marriott Town Place Suites at 1052 Magellan Drive. So we will consider approving that sign application. Jay, do you want to do the staff report?
Jay, do you have the PowerPoint presentation?
I'm sorry.
I'll pull up the PowerPoint presentation, and Commissioner White, Senior Planner Kim Brunel is going to provide both of the presentations tonight. So give me just
Okay.
a moment and I will pull up the presentation, which will quickly run us through both of these. For those of you who are logged on, let me start the slideshow. All right, I think we should be good. Go ahead, Kim.
Okay, thank you very much. The first item tonight is the sign application for Marriott Town Suites. The AD and SPR was approved by the Planning Commission in 2018. The application now is to affix 4 illuminated signs to the actual hotel. Up on the screen are the elevations. There's 1 set of signs on each of the 4 elevations of the building. Next slide, Jay. There is also 1 monument sign. So these sign, next slide, please. All of these signs are within regulations of the Tehachapi zoning code. So staff recommends approval of the sign application for Marriott Town Place Suites.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Are there any public comments that came in on this item, Tori?
We did not receive any public comments. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'll ask the commissioners for their comments. Let's start with Vice Chairperson Christensen.
I have no comments.
Okay, Commissioner Hollingsworth,
No comments.
Commissioner Nixon,
No comments.
Commissioner Hamblin,
No comments.
and I have no comments. So what we'll do now is to entertain a motion to approve sign application number 2021-01 for Metro Signs for the Marriott Town Place Suites at 1052 Magellan Drive. Is there a motion to recommend this?
Christensen motions.
Hamblin, second.
Okay, so now we will take a roll call. All of those in favor of approving this sign application. We'll start with Vice Chairperson Christensen,
Aye.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Commissioner Nixon,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamblin,
Aye.
and I vote aye also. So let the record show that it was unanimous vote for approval of sign application number 2021-01. Item number 4, sign application number 2021-02 from Prime Signs for Primary Residential Mortgage Incorporated at 807 Tucker Road, Unit A. We will consider approving the sign application number 2021-02. Kim, are you going to do this report as well?
I am. I'm waiting for the PowerPoint to come back up.
Okay.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, there we go. Item number 2 is a new sign for Primary Residential Mortgage. They moved into the suite next to T Donuts at 807 Tucker Road in the Save Mart Shopping Center. So all we're doing here is removing the Metro PCS sign and replacing it with the Primary Residential Mortgage sign. Next slide. There's just 1 sign here. It is within the regulations of our code, so staff recommends approval of the sign application for Primary Residential Mortgage.
Okay. Tori, were there any public comments received on this item?
We did not receive any public comments. Thank you.
Okay. So for the commissioners' comments, let's start with Vice Chairperson Christensen.
I have, Christensen has none. Thank you.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
I have no comments.
Commissioner Nixon,
I have no comments.
Commissioner Hamblin.
No comments.
My only comment would be there is that monument type sign that is in front of the building over there along Tucker Road. I mean 202. Don't they plan to put a sign there as well? And would that have to be approved as well?
If there was a Metro PCS sign slip as part of that sign, it would be replaced with the primary mortgage sign.
Okay, so maybe it was just an oversight on their part, because I'm sure they would want, to take advantage of that sign.
We can
Okay,
verify with them.
So we will now entertain a motion to approve sign application number 2021-02 by Prime Signs for primary residential mortgage. Does someone want to make that motion?
Commissioner Nixon, so approved as presented.
Christensen,
Hollingsworth, second. Oh, whoever, Christensen, go ahead.
Who seconded that?
Christensen.
Okay, so now we'll take a vote by roll call. Those who are in favor of sign application number 2021-02, we'll start with Vice Chairperson Christensen,
Aye.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes.
Nixon,
Yeah.
and Hamblin,
Aye.
and I vote yes as well. So let the record show that it was a unanimous vote for approval of the sign application number 2021-02. The next item, Planning Commission announcements or reports. We'll start with Christensen.
Thank you. Through Chairman White, I would like to make a comment to the commissioners on something. I would support, if we have items that would typically be on a consent agenda, I definitely would support, even like tonight, we would have a completely consent agenda item. I would support of that. And tonight would be a perfect example too, is if it is a 100% consent agenda item, but if somebody had a question like Chairman White did, we can pull that out and talk about it separately. So I personally would like to support that with staff. And that's all I have.
Okay, Jay, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, I would only say, yeah, we were sort of torn tonight with not wanting to make these folks wait another month to have their signs approved, but knowing that the agenda was kind of lean without it. And so if the commission so desires in the future, if we're faced with this condition where the only things we have to bring would be items we typically do on consent, there's no rule or problem with us just having a single consent agenda item and then moving straight to commission announcements and then reports and adjournment. So that would be fine with us. It would certainly help streamline these items. So it's kind of up to you. We put them on the full agenda and we eliminated consent just so that, we could have this opportunity to run through them. But certainly the will of the commission is fine either way, in my opinion.
The other commissioners, do you have any opinions on this? Let's start with Hollingsworth.
I don't have any other comments. Are you asking how I feel about what you just talked about?
Yes.
I'm fine with taking that suggestion, whatever you need to do.
Okay, with it being put on, stay on the consent agenda so we don't have a meeting when it's few items like this. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, you still would have.
We would still have.
Right? You'd have the meeting.
We would still have a
you would
meeting.
Just have it,
with just Sorry.
Just all on the consent calendar.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that would be the only item would probably be the consent.
Correct. That's in
It-
theory. Yeah.
Okay, so Commissioner Nixon, what are your feelings on this?
Yeah, it makes sense to just do the consent agenda unless a specific commissioner has a question, then we can just pull it off like Vice Chair Christensen suggested. But whatever will streamline it for staff, I am in full support of.
Okay, Commissioner Hamblin.
Yeah, thank you. I would agree with Commissioner Nixon's comments. You know, staff makes this easy for us because they do all the hard work up front. So whatever makes the most sense for everybody involved.
Okay, and I feel the same way. You know, things, particularly minutes, I think could go back on the consent agenda. And I think probably if it's an item that might have something unusual or something that the staff thinks we should discuss, then they could, you know, keep that as an individual item rather than keeping it on consent. But otherwise, I'm in favor of that too, Jay. So do we need to vote on that?
No, we're technically, I think you and I, Commissioner White, are the ones that are supposed to set the agenda. So I have clarity on the commission's will on this, and staff will move in that direction in the future. So no, thank you for making it clear.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson Christensen. Did you have any other comments?
No, not for me. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Hollingsworth, any other comments?
No, not for me.
And Commissioner Nixon, any other comments?
I have nothing else this evening.
Commissioner Hamblin, any other comments?
No other comments. Thank you.
Okay, and I had no other comments either. Development Services Director announcements or reports. Jay?
Excellent. I only have one for you guys tonight, and it's perfectly timely on this subject that we talked about. We have budgeted for and hired a consultant to do a reasonably sizable update to the sign code. And we will ultimately bring the draft sign code update to the Planning Commission for a public hearing to go through the changes. But briefly, I would tell you that that the basis of the need for the change is back in 2015, there was a fairly sizable Supreme Court case that provided a lot of clarity on how the First Amendment and signs are to intermingle with each other. And the bottom line is that signs must be what's known as content neutral, which means that we can't have sign codes that differentiate between allowable or non-allowable signs or regulations regarding signs if they are associated with the content on those signs. So I don't want to try to get into the details now, but instead wanted to let you know that hopefully I'm thinking 2 months from now in April that perhaps in March if I can get it put together fast enough, but in April we're going to ask you guys to dive into the sign code, and these are kind of one of the heavier lifts for you all as the Planning Commission, because the council is going to be looking to you guys to tell them whether the changes we're proposing make good sense. So one of the things that I think also maybe makes some sense in that code is for us to move a few signs out of the Planning Commission's express approval, and the specific group of signs I would suggest, again, we can discuss this at the hearing, is signs in a shopping center that have a shopping center sign master plan. So you guys may remember, for instance, you approved a master plan for the new industrial building on Goodrick a few months back. And so in cases where we had a master sign program, do we need to come bring those signs back one by one? So that's the kind of thing we might put into the sign code and help expedite and improve this process. So that's my announcement. Just wanted to let you know that was coming down the pipe and to be ready for it.
Okay, we'll be ready. What about the Sage Ranch EIR?
Excellent question. I don't know that I can I have a response for you tonight. We are still working on the EIR. We're still going through some water analysis work. We're also still reviewing the tentative track map and trying to prepare that. I think that's probably the summary I can give you at this point. We've still got a decent amount of work to do on those items before a project would be ready to present to you all for consideration. So that's where we stand.
Okay. Well, that brings us up to adjournment at 6:25. It's a nice short meeting. Thank you, staff, for the work you put into this, and commissioners, thank you for attending tonight. And we'll